How's it going? My name is Brent from Encore, and today we have a 2012 Ford F150 we're going to be doing the headlights on. There is no pattern for these in the computer, so we're going to be bulking them. This side we're going to go ahead and make a pattern with some transfer tape, and then the other side we're just going to straight bulk. All right, so first we want to lay down this transfer tape on here and get it as smooth, relatively as smooth as you can. And let's go ahead and put a relief right here. All right, so as we come around here, there's definitely going to be some wrinkles in this because this headlight going to have a little bit of stretch right here. So we're going to go ahead and leave those at the top. Oops. Try not to do that. All right. And then another thing is, depending on how many lines and how bad they are right here, as far as the parts that are creased over right there, that'll also help you decide how much material is going to need to be able to stretch that direction. So the only spot that we're going to be going over the edge on is going to be this top section right in here. The clear coat on the headlight is starting to come off right there, so I don't want to have issues down on the front of the headlight with that as it starts to break loose. So we're going to go ahead and go over this edge and back here, and then on the rest of this we'll just stay right on the front of the headlight. All right, so with this pencil here, you can see that I've cut this down, so we've exposed this side, and this will work really good for tracing this out. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay this diagonally like that and just catch that very corner or very edge of the material. All right, let's go ahead and get this over to the wall and cut this out in a piece of material. This is just some excess material here that's left over on the end of a roll. It's great for doing little projects like this. All right, so we got our transfer tape over here, and we're going to go ahead and cut this pattern out. All right, so I'm going to cut just barely inside the line across here. And then when we get over to this side, we know that we're going to need just a little bit of stretch right in here, so we're going to cut this part a little bit short. Maybe by about, I don't know, this one, I'm going to guess that we're going to need about 1/8 inch or so. Okay, come on down this side. So depending on the part that I'm cutting out here, sometimes I'll go, I'll just cut right on the line. It's important to get full coverage. Headlights a little bit easier. I mean, some headlights you might want to get that complete coverage so you can go right on the line or a little bit even over, but we're not worried about that here today. All right, then we'll go ahead and take this off. All right, so we know we want to be just right at the edge here, all the way up. And as you can see, there's really no stretching until you get to this part here, and that's where we had those little creases in the material, or at least in the as far as in the transfer tape. I'll also leave a link in the description for the transfer tape. And then what? I'm pretty sure you can find a pencil, right? Okay. So we're gonna wrap this over. Okay, let's see here. Can we just give it some stretch now? Yes. So the fingers are very minor. Let's go ahead and stretch it from there. A lot of times, if it had more fingers in it, let's show you that too. If we had something with some more fingers in it that were going to need a lot more stretch, then I'd come up right up to them. And then I would stretch right from there. That way we're not stretching all this part of the material as well. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and wipe out all the edges, dry them out, and then we will come back and heat seal this in the end. Let's go ahead and get on this other headlight. All right, got our bulk piece of material. All right, so let's start. I mean, basically we're just gonna do the same thing as the other side. The main difference to this side is that we are going to need to put a relief cut right here so that we can get this part down without creating that finger there. And we are going to have to trim all the edges on the headlight. Okay. So again, we're gonna need a little bit of stretch, and then on something like this, I will tack to the, especially depending on the stretch, but a lot of times what I'll do is come over and tack to the fender. And then we'll squeegee all this out. Alright, so that's causing it to pop up a little bit, so we'll go ahead and release that from the fender. Get this tucked in a little bit, and basically the tucking in here is just going to help hold that in place while the face of this dries, and then we'll come back and trim that off. Okay, let's go ahead and come up here. All right, so we are going to come right up this edge. Okay, and then we'll kind of just lay this down a little bit, and we'll trim across this top. All right, so let's go ahead and lay that down. Some tack in there. All right, now let's go ahead and trim this one all the way around. Let's see, I'm gonna start down here, otherwise my hand's gonna bump into this part of the bumper. Okay, then I'll come across the bottom. All right, let's go ahead and take this off. Go ahead and come across the top. All right, so I'm going to put some tack in here on these edges, and then we're going to go ahead and bump these down and dry them out. All right, so when we made a pattern for this one, we could have just flipped the material on the board up there and then traced it out for this one as well. So that one pattern works on both sides. What do you guys think? Which one do you like better? I'm gonna keep doing this one. Not that bulking them doesn't work great, but I do like making a pattern for them. I just really like the way that installs. So thanks for taking a look. If you found anything useful or helpful, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.